I'll do one more, and then we'll jump back to the questions. Some people suffer from, in particular, low self-esteem. So self-esteem is how you feel about yourself, okay? So if you like yourself a lot, if you are a content and happy person, we would say that you have good self-esteem. But if you feel bad about yourself, if you are someone who you always think negative thoughts about yourself, we would say that you struggle with low self-esteem. This is a challenging one. I think we all, at some point in life, struggle with low self-esteem. It's not a pleasant thing to struggle with. Some people go through long periods of time where they suffer from low self-esteem, and that can lead to I'm really sorry. That is not a nice sound for you to all hear. But sometimes after long periods of having low self-esteem, you can sink into depression. So depression, there's a lot of different forms of depression. Depression is when you just don't have a positive outlook on life. You feel down a lot. It's difficult for me to describe. I know people who have been depressed. So you can suffer from a light depression, or you can have a more serious form of depression. But when you suffer from depression, so that's a suffer from, you suffer from depression, you just don't have a lot of energy or desire to be out and about in the world. And it's a very challenging thing to suffer from. I know some of you in the comments have mentioned that you suffer a bit from depression. It's always good to seek out medical help, to see a doctor if you're suffering from real depression. So that's a big struggle. That's a very serious struggle in life. Let me see here. Let me jump over to the questions. I've been letting them build up. Oh no. Let's see here. Next question is from whom? What's the difference between struggle and effort? So when I struggle with something, it means that every day I have to work at it and it's hard for me, okay? But effort is when you put in the work to overcome something. So I put a lot of effort into making all of these handouts, making all of these papers, okay? So I don't struggle with it. I work hard at it. I put a lot of effort into making those. It's actually not that much work, by the way. Let's see here. I'm going to skip the questions that are not on topic. So if I don't answer your question, save it for tomorrow night. There will be a live lesson tomorrow night where any question is okay. Tu Nyung says, what do you usually do to get rid of nervousness? So if there is something I am nervous to do, I try to do it a lot. I know it sounds difficult, but for instance, when I at first started teaching, it was hard for me to talk in front of the class, but I just did it a lot. I made it the first thing I did every day. Before I would give the students work to do, I would make sure that I would stand and talk in front of the class so that I could eventually overcome my nervousness. So that's what I would do. Let's see here. This is from Dimitro from the Ukraine. Says, hi Bob, I struggled to get to school on time. So my physics teacher who lived nearby and whom I raced once we got off the bus, I might have been late if his lesson was first. So we have students here too who struggle to get to school on time. It can be a challenge to get to work on time or to get to school on time. Certainly racing someone off the bus might motivate you to actually get there on time. Let's see, next question is from Solange. Hi again, can I say I have a lot of struggles? Yes, absolutely. You could say, my day is hard. I have a lot of struggles in life. I would add the in life part, but you can definitely say that. You could say, I have a lot of struggles. I struggle with getting up on time. I struggle with getting to work on time. I struggle with money. You could say all of those things. Let's see here. Going to jump through the questions that aren't on topic. Sorry about that. Lolly has the next question. What's the difference between hurdle and obstacle? They are pretty much the same thing. A hurdle is actually something that a runner jumps over. If you watch races at the Olympics, they have hurdles. So we use the same word to describe a problem in our day. You know, I have to get over a few hurdles today. Those would be little problems. You could also say, there's a few obstacles in my way today. That would work as well. So I would say you could use both. Let me clean up my questions here, and then we'll get back to the lesson. Pavlo says, can people struggle both mentally and physically? Yes, absolutely. So you can have something that's a mental or spiritual struggle, but you can also have a physical struggle where you maybe have a broken arm or something like that. Okay, another thing people struggle with is loss. So in English, when we say that someone is struggling with loss, it means someone they know or someone in their family has died, okay? So this might be one that you're not familiar with, but you know, years ago, my dad passed away. I think I was 30 years old. My dad passed away. He was only 56 years old. And so my brothers and sisters and my mom, we struggled with loss. So we struggled with the loss of my dad. But in a general sense, you can say that, you know, she lost her husband. You know, she struggled with loss, or she is struggling with loss right now. You could also say that someone is struggling with grief. I forgot to add that word. But that's how you would talk about someone who is just incredibly sad because someone they know has died. And it doesn't have to be recent. It could be that that person died recently, but it can also be a person that died a year or two ago or more. It takes a different amount of time for different people when they're struggling with loss. So some people, we're back to things that can be addicting. Some people struggle with smoking. You know, they want to quit smoking, but because the nicotine is addictive, they have trouble and they struggle with smoking. Some people just like smoking and they don't think they are struggling with it, but some people do struggle with, I think, more quitting smoking. It's difficult for some people to quit smoking. 529 people watching, that's a lot. Anyways, we're about halfway through a lesson on struggles. I'm trying to explain the things that all of us at one time or another have either struggled with or we know someone who has. I'm Bob the Canadian. If you're new here, you should click that red subscribe button down there, because then you'll know when I make new videos. And before we continue the lesson, don't forget to watch this lesson or parts of it again tomorrow to help reinforce what you are hearing. Some people struggle with finding a partner. So as you go through life, it's nice to find someone to marry. But it can be a struggle in English we would say you need to get out there, okay? So you need to go out in public, you need to go to places where people are meeting socially, or you need to be introduced to someone. But there are many people in life who really would love to have a partner. They would love to be married. They would love to have a boyfriend or girlfriend, but they struggle with finding a partner. So I hope all of you, as you go through life, find a way or find a place where you can meet someone. We would say in English, the love of your life. So hopefully you find the love of your life. That's how we describe the person who we have been, I guess, looking for all our lives, and when we finally meet them. Jen, by the way, is the love of my life. So some people struggle with finding a partner. And because of that, I'm going to jump ahead here. They might struggle with loneliness, okay? It is a big world with a lot of people in it, but it can still be a world where people struggle with loneliness. When you are lonely, obviously you are all alone. You would love to have more friends. You would love to maybe have a partner, a romantic partner, but some people struggle with loneliness. So here is my challenge to all 542 of you today, go out today and be kind to everyone. Say hi to everyone. There are people that you probably know who struggle with loneliness, who are just kind of go through their day and their weekend and maybe they don't have someone. So seek these people out and be kind to them and be nice to them. So that's my challenge to you today. And if you are someone who is lonely, if you suffer from loneliness or struggle with loneliness, you can say that one both ways. I hope today someone is kind to you. I hope that you find someone to talk to. This next one is kind of a funny one, and I suffer from this. In English, some people struggle with having a big mouth. Now, that doesn't mean that your mouth is big. In English, if we say someone has a big mouth, it means sometimes they talk before they think, or they talk a lot, okay? So it doesn't mean that your mouth is big, but if I say, my uncle has such a big mouth, it means that he'll just say anything. He's always talking. I have this problem sometimes. Sometimes I think I'm right and I just say it without thinking about how it might make someone feel. So some people struggle with having a big mouth. I'm definitely one of those people. Let me just jump back and check some questions for a sec. Hardy I'm laughing at myself now. That's good though. It's good to laugh at yourself as well. Hardy from China says, how do you deal with spending too much time on social media? I'm struggling with it now. I think here's a good thing to do. If you turn off your notifications, set your phone so it doesn't beep or buzz when you get a new notification. And then when you go home, put your phone somewhere for a few hours and don't leave it in your pocket, okay? When it's in your pocket and it goes bing or it buzzes, that's one of the ways that you can get kind of addicted to social media. So turn the phone off, turn the notifications off, put the phone away. That's what I would recommend that you do. Let's see here. Next question from Saeed. Can struggle be used instead of fight, especially in a physical fight? Yes. So two people can have a struggle where they're actually kind of wrestling with each other, or they can be fighting where they're actually punching each other. But struggle, I think, is used a little more the way I'm using it this morning. We don't often use it to describe a physical fight, although it would be correct. Okay, you could say that the two kids were struggling on the floor with each other. So there we go. Let's see. Youssef says, sir, I hope my question will be light and cool on you. Do you meet with people who support football and they're usually complaining about how the team playing without? So I think what you're saying here is some people struggle with having to work with people, or they know people who don't support the same team as them. I hope I'm answering your question correctly, Youssef. Some people have to struggle with people who talk about sports all the time. That's sometimes something that we hear. So Solange says, can we use the noun fight? So usually when we're talking about the kinds of things I'm talking about, we use struggle, struggle with or suffer from. But you could use fight in some of the situations. Not all of them, but you could in some of them for sure. Okay, some people struggle with anger, or they struggle with having a bad temper. So when you have a bad temper, you get angry really easily. If Semyon says, I can't turn off my phone because I'm watching Bob the Canadian. Yeah, that's true. Sorry to make all these videos and make it hard for you to put down your phones, but some people struggle with anger. You probably know someone who gets angry really easily, and some people struggle with that. Some people are overworked. So you might have a job where you just struggle because you are overworked. You work 10, 11, 12, 16 hours a day. And that is a challenge that is something that some people struggle with. Maybe you have two jobs. Maybe you work one job and then you go home and have some food to eat, and you go and work another job. So you struggle with being overworked. So, and then to go along with that, you might be struggling with being underpaid. So you might be overworked and underpaid. That is not a nice situation to be in. So this can lead to you having struggles with money. So if you're underpaid and you don't have enough money, you might struggle with being underpaid. It's not a nice situation. I hope today your boss gives you a raise. Could you imagine if everyone watching this live English lesson, when they were done and the next time you went to work, your boss said, "You're getting a raise, excellent work. We love all the work you do, you're getting a raise today." That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Just want to say hi again to all the 563 people watching. That is awesome.